Because companies want to maximize profits with cartoons, they have video games created so fans of the cartoon will quickly buy it. There are some cases where these cartoon video games are actually good, but other times they're trash. Today I'll be going over some of these awful video games based on cartoons. Spongebob is one of the most iconic cartoon characters of all time, so it's no surprise that there are countless video games with the world of Bikini Bottom as the focus. Plankton's Robotic Revenge is a game that came out on many platforms, but I've only played the 3DS version, so that's what I'll be talking about today. This game is just incredibly boring, and I picked it up because it was a few dollars, but that decision is going under my top 10 anime regrets.
Ready for action!
We need to work together.
My robotic revenge!
Plankton's Robotic Revenge involves Plankton using robot minions to try and steal the Krabby Patty's secret formula, so already that's a boring plot. But when you actually start playing the game, you'll realize it's the most generic game possible. You walk around a linear environment, kill a few enemies, move on, kill more enemies, move on again, and it doesn't really deviate too much from that path. Because this game is so boring and repetitive, it is extremely hard to recommend. It's definitely possible for a SpongeBob game to be good, but Robotic Revenge is an example of a massive cash grab with very little effort thrown into it. If you were ever thinking about buying this game, please use your money for something legitimately good, like Danganronpa! I was one of the biggest Gravity Falls fans when it was airing, since my whole channel was all about decoding its secrets and mysteries before I moved on to the cartoon stuff. So when the 3DS game called The Legend of the Gnome Gemulets came out, and it was a pretty boring game, you can imagine how disappointed I was. The story is this. The Pines twins must work together to collect tools and weapons around Gravity Falls as they attempt to solve mysteries and prepare for encounters with paranormal and supernatural creatures, attempting to restore order to the Gnome Kingdom. Now let me be clear, I don't think Legend of the Gnome Gemulets is completely terrible, but it was so much worse than it could have been.
Only one person can solve the mystery of Gravity Falls. You! Get ready to join Dipper, Mabel, and all their friends.
Now, it's a platformer where you can switch between Dipper and Mabel for their different abilities. The overall game just feels meh when you're playing, and there aren't too many exciting things that happen. You could play a platformer of any other property, and it wouldn't be too different from what you find in this game. I do have to say that the writing is pretty good and there are some nice jokes, because that part was done by the Gravity Falls creator Alex Hirsch, but still, there isn't much else I can positively say. I played the game, was a bit disappointed with it, then never played again. I would just call it a missed opportunity because the world of Gravity Falls was filled with so many amazing supernatural stuff, yet they just decided to go with gnomes. Oh well, at least I would recommend this game more than Plankton's Robotic Revenge. Another example of a huge missed opportunity when making a video game based on a cartoon is South Park on the PlayStation and PC. This is one of those games that not everyone is actually aware of, and there's a pretty good reason for that. Many people who've played it say it's terrible. This story involves a mysterious comet approaching the Earth, and then the boys fight monsters. That story already is pretty ridiculous, but I can give it a pass because South Park has always been weird.
I'm going down south, I'm gonna have myself a time. Friendly faces everywhere, come no close without confusion. Going down south, I'm gonna leave my woes behind.
Anyway, this South Park game could have been so many amazing things, but someone made the terrible decision for it to be a first-person shooter. That already made the game less likable, and combine that with some terrible level designs, then you get a game people aren't going to be interested in. Even though this got bad reviews, the South Park video game world was later redeemed when the Stick of Truth was released many years later. This was an RPG game that captured South Park's charm perfectly, and it turned out way better than the PlayStation and PC game. But anyway, that's all for this video. Subscribe for more awesome cartoon videos. Give a thumbs up and comment below, let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys at dinner time.